Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another edition of Disability Podcast. On today's episode, I'm going to demonstrate how we make Gwen's formula. If you don't know, Gwen has a G-tube. It's a feeding tube that goes into her stomach, and this formula is her primary way of getting nutrition. The reason we make ours from home is because Gwenelle has had issues tolerating the commercial brands of formula. So we have worked with a nutritionist and come up with a recipe that we can actually make here at home, where she doesn't have any issues with this one, and she's feeling good with this. So without further ado, we're just going to jump right into this episode, and I'm going to show you how we go about making it and all the ingredients that go into it. All right, so the first ingredient we are going to add is coconut milk, and we're going to add 3 cups of this. I didn't mention this in the beginning, but obviously now everything is going into a blender, okay? So that is how we're going to mix everything up. The next ingredient we are going to add is rice protein powder, and we are going to add 6 tablespoons of this. It's important to add your liquid first, because if you're going to add all your dry ingredients to the bottom of this and then add your liquid, it's just going to, all that dry ingredients is going to cake up at the bottom of this near your blades, and it's going to be a mess. So just add your liquid, the majority of your liquid in the beginning. Next ingredient I'm going to add is coconut water powder. We're going to add 1.5 tablespoons. That's 1 serving of this. This is going to help with electrolytes and keeping her hydrated. The next ingredient we are going to add now is collagen. And I'm going to add 2 scoops of this. It's going to help with some extra protein and calories. The very next ingredient I'm going to add is some de-oiled sunflower lecithin. We are adding this because you'll see next that I'm going to add some oils in here, and this is going to help blend those oils into the rest of the ingredients here, and it's going to help her with absorption as well. All right, so next we're going to add our oils that I was just talking about. We have some MCT oil. We're going to add about 1.5 tablespoons of that. And then the next one is some safflower oil. So we're going to add about 2 tablespoons of that one. And obviously this is going to help with fat content. This is the main purpose of that. And it does add a good bit of calories as well.
So the reason why you also want to add the lecithin is to bind all your ingredients together so they go through your tube without clogging. Clogging sucks, and having to flush that clog also sucks. So add your lecithin to your homemade formulas so you don't have to deal with that.
Next, I'm just going to add 1.25 cups of some water. Normally, you can add this right in the beginning with your coconut milk. I forgot, so I'm just going to put it in right now. Next, we're going to add some sweet potato powder. This one is mainly used for carbohydrates, and it's kind of difficult to find these things, but I would recommend, because we have tried a few different powders of sweet potato at this point. By the way, I'm adding 1/2 cup of this. We've tried a few different ones of the sweet potato at this point, and what we found is that their nutrition labels are all out of whack, so we suggest going online. What's the website, babe?
You know, I don't know. We'll link it in the show notes.
We'll link the website in the show notes about you can plug in the sweet potato and find out its total nutrition facts instead of going off of these labels, because unfortunately some of them are just
They're
wrong.
terrible.
Last but not least, we are going to add some maltodextrin. Now this one is important because it adds carbohydrates but not really a whole lot of anything else, which is good because Gwen cannot have high fiber or really high fat with her gastroparesis. So we can boost some calories and carbohydrates without adding anything else with this one. And I'm going to be adding 4 of the scoops of this. All right, now we have everything in the blender. I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to do a 10-second interval at each speed up until the 5th speed, and then we're going to stop and stir. So let's begin. All right, now as you can see, there are some ingredients stuck on the side of the blender.
It's the lecithin!
So that's the reason we blend it up. Now we're gonna stop, we're gonna take it off, and we are going to use our spatula and rub along the insides to get all that stuff off and blend it up again one more time.
Rub it good.
All right, so lo and behold, I forgot to add one more ingredient. We do have 5 grams of pink Himalayan salt. Gwinnell has dysautonomia, so this salt helps. What does it do?
Helps me from stopping fainting and balances my dysautonomic nervous system. It does lots of stuff. Salt.
Okay. All right, perfect. So yes, normally I would add this with the other ingredients. However, we're not making this formula in the usual spot that I usually make it. So, I forgot a couple things, but it's okay.
Epic fail!
It's all good because it's going to blend up just nicely. All right, now that we scraped down the sides, we just tossed in our salt that we forgot. We're going to blend it up again one more time, and I'm going to let it go for about a minute on speed 2. Okay, so here we have our fully blended formula. You definitely want to take your time blending it up because you want to make sure that all the ingredients that you're putting into this is thoroughly getting mixed throughout, because the person you're giving it to, whether it's you or you're a caregiver and you're giving it to someone else, you want to make sure they're getting all the nutrients they can, especially if this is their primary way of getting it. Okay, once you have your formula, whatever bag you're using, this is ours. I'm just going to pour this straight into here with the blender. If your hands aren't that good and you don't even want to try to attempt it and spill it all over the floor or something, or yourself, get a funnel and set up a little system where you can have this more stable. But for me, I'm okay with holding it and pouring it in, so that's what I'm going to do.
And your blender should be something like a Vitamix, or like ours is a Home Geek one, and that one, both of them are around 1450 watts. So you want to look for something that's around 2.2 horsepower when you're shopping.
Thanks, Gwen.
You're welcome.
She's not in the camera. She is here. It's just not.
I'm here. I'm just,
speaking
I'm the fly on the wall.
From the atmosphere.
I am.
Use your hands. They'll see your hands. You need to hold this for me.
No.
Hold this up.
No.
Thank you. I'm going to scrape the rest in here. Normally I'm in my kitchen and I, do some Houdini moves and just hold this up against the cabinet and do it myself, but this isn't my normal environment. I'm not used to it, so I'm going to use her hands today.
I'm the cabinet.
She's the cabinet. All right, and there we have it, everyone, okay? This will be what she gets for the entire day, and that's how you go about making this formula. If you are having issues tolerating commercial formulas, I highly suggest speaking with a nutritionist and working with them to create something that is going to, that you could probably do at home and would work for you, because this recipe that we do here is specifically tailored to Gwen, and it's not going to be the same for you. So figure out what you need with a nutritionist, work with them, and you could go about doing this at home yourself as well.
Yay!
See you next time.